members of the school committee to come in. We'll take the solid waste disposal agreement first.
Actually, Mr. Mr.
You're expecting him to?
Yes, I do.
All right. Committee will just wait then.
I'll get to it.
Oh, go on. Can we proceed then with the secondary school building committee?
Well, what we want to do first, we have our student representatives give the student report, which is very quick, and then.
Sure.
Thanks,
All right, why don't we do that?
Okay.
Okay,
All right, Elizabeth Sarah, can you give us your student report, please?
certainly.
Thanks.
First up, grades closed for the first quarter this past Friday. The chorus, band, and massacre students held a Veterans Day assembly today, which was really well put together. The homecoming dance is being held this Friday by the student council. In addition to holding a forum tonight for parents to discuss underage drinking, Mr. Bernard is requiring all students to have a signed permission slip for the dance. The girls' soccer team has a state tournament game tomorrow versus Newburyport at 2 o'clock. The girls' cheering team is doing very well, placing high in their last two competitions. The volleyball team won the North Sectional title last Saturday and will advance to the state semifinals this Thursday against Frontier. The Massacre Club will perform the play The Fantastics next Friday and Saturday, and they have announced Singing in the Rain as their spring musical. The Interact Club is continuing to rake leaves for elderly citizens in the community, and all winter sports are holding meetings this week to prepare for the winter season. And for my student work, something that I thought was really interesting that I'd like to share is in my sociology class, we're studying social change and the factors that affect it. So we went to the library and looked at all previous Northern yearbooks from 1958 to 1979, and each student in the class got to choose the yearbook to look at. I chose 1958, which was the first year that North Reading had high school, and we observed things like clothing, hairstyles, awards given, popular names, just like to get a vibe for the school at that time. And I thought it was really interesting just to compare students of that time with students of today, sort of like the formal dress, and it's a really fun project.
Yeah, Mr. Crooks, you want to comment on that at all?
He has the same hairstyle, same clothing.
The only thing is I would like to thank the deliberator for giving a punchline statement.
Liz, how old is elderly to get the lead rate? How old is it?
Oh, I have no idea.
Thanks. Any questions? Thanks for the report. Appreciate it. Next, we want to move on to David Wendell to the permanent appointment of the,
Sure.
to the board, the secondary school building committee. What do you want to move to the?
Let's do the joint appointment.
Okay.
Right.
Right.
First of all, whenever the school committee and the board of selectmen appoint a member to a building committee, it must be done by a joint meeting. So tonight's meeting is very convenient in that respect. And secondly, the Massachusetts School Building Authority has established new guidelines for membership on composition of a building committee. And a month ago, I advertised in the transcript and in other locations for an expanded membership. And I'm pleased to be able to recommend the appointment of Dr. Helen Maynard, who is here tonight. And Dr. Maynard is an engineer by profession and very well trained and has worked on a number of projects. While not directly in terms of building facilities, certainly her expertise in engineering will lend themselves very well to our building committee. So you have Dr. Maynard's background, and it would be my recommendation that that she be added to the building committee.
Any questions from anybody on this appointment? Not directly related to this appointment, so let's make the appointment first. And David, I want to ask you about the makeup of the secondary building committee after this appointment. So can I have a motion for?
We have a motion.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I move to appoint Helen Maynard, PhD, 291 Haverhill Street, North Reading, to the Secondary Schools Building Committee for an indefinite term.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Harris, seconded by Mr. O'Leary. Call for a roll call vote. Mr. Bowers?
Aye.
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 Mr. Webster? Mr. O'Leary?
Aye.
Mr. Harris?
Aye.
Mr. Vino?
Aye.
Mr. Delaney?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Did I miss anybody?
Well, Nicole and Maureen, but
They're not- they're not here.
No. Thank you for volunteering. Thanks very much. Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
I don't know how much you're gonna appreciate it.
We'd like to get that high school built by the end of next year.
Yeah, right to no cost.
How are you with deadlines?
One question I had, David, is do we have to, based on new MSBA rules, change the makeup of this committee or with different types of professions? I know they kind of changed the rules a year or so ago.
They have, and the building committee must have a school committee member on it, which we have a school committee member. Mrs. Davis now is the school committee member. There must be a representative from the Board of Selectmen, and I don't know whether Mr. Delaney has been officially appointed to the committee, but I know you serve as the liaison to that committee. But down the line, I think, or whenever you want to, you could be officially named, or should be named to that committee. There should be individuals with background in some form of engineering. They would like to see an architect on there, per se, and so that's one of the reasons why we're trying to expand it. Financial background, and I think we have some individuals who have that in their professional work. Great.
Trying to be interesting. We could make a motion this evening.
That would be helpful, then.
We'll have to write it.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, whatever we do this evening in relation to Mr. Delaney's appointment, I think it should be clear in our motion that he serves as a member of this committee so long as he's a member of the Board of Selectmen.
Just a minute.
Just a minute.
We had some
Let's do this, please, I guess.
Say definitely. Mr. Vino.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I move to appoint Sean Delaney, 7 Dick Street, North Reading, to the Secondary School Building Committee for a term as long as he serves on the Board of Selectmen.
Motion made by Mr. Vino. Do I hear a second? Second. Second by Mr. Harris. Roll call vote. Mr. Bowers.
Aye.
Mr. Venezia.
Aye.
Mr. Webster.
Aye.
Mr. O'Leary. Aye. Mr. Harris. Aye. Mr. Vino.
Aye.
Mr. Delaney.
Abstain.
Chair votes aye. You're not escaping.
Next part, I think we want to move on to the statement of interest.
Yes.
Under the new regulations for the Mass School Building Authority, all communities are invited to submit new statements of interest if they have not submitted them previously, or to update, revise, or refresh current statements of interest that are already on file. And as we all know, North Reading submitted statements of interest for the bachelor school, the middle school, and the high school in the first round back in 2006, although the window closed on July 1st, 2007. And at that time, if communities had submitted more than one statement of interest, the superintendent of schools needed to write a letter identifying one statement of interest. And after considerable discussion, I chose the Batchelder School, which was a great decision because the Batchelder School has now received $7 million, and we hope to get another $2 for reimbursement on an $18.5 million project. So that leaves 2 statements of interest that are currently on file, the North Reading Middle School and the North Reading High School. Back in September, all superintendents were notified that the window for submitting new statements of interest or updating the current ones had been reopened, and the date for submission is November 15th. We can only select one priority. So our secondary school building committee under chairmanship of Chuck Carucci, and also with discussion and approval of the school committee, recommends that we update the statement of interest for North Reading High School. Just in terms of what has to happen here, on the statement of interest, the statement must reflect one or more of the 8 priorities or indicators upon which you're submitting that statement of interest. And so our original statement of interest submitted in 2006 looked at priority number 1, indicator number 1, which deals with health and safety issues. Indicator number 2, which is elimination of existing severe overcrowding. Indicator number 3, which is prevention of loss of accreditation. Indicator 4, which is prevention of severe overcrowding expected to result from increased enrollment. Indicator 5, replacement, renovation, or modernization of the heating system in order to increase energy conservation. And indicator number 7, replacement of or addition to an obsolete building in order to provide a full range of programs consistent with the state and approved local requirements. So those are the indicators that we originally built our statement of interest on. And our decision is to continue. We're not adding any new indicators. We're not taking any of them off the table. We have studied the hundreds of statement of interests that have been submitted by other communities. And we feel very strongly that it is critical to maintain at least our place and our attention with the Mass School Building Authority. Not to do that will set North Reading back and out of competition with other communities. And frankly, many of those other communities have needs that are far less serious than the needs that are presented here, either at our middle school or our high school. Last summer, when Catherine Craven, who's the executive director of MSBA, came to North Reading to deliver the check for the Batchelder School, she asked specifically to tour North Reading High School, because MSBA had already sent out to North Reading High School a team of its own engineers and architects to do a facility study. And I know Mr. Webster joined us on that tour, and others did, but again and again, the comments about North Reading High School, that one, she was very surprised that it was in the condition that it was, and the condition is fine, but with many, many deficiencies, particularly in terms of space. It was noted that we have added 6 modular classrooms to that school, that we have added a modular cafeteria, that our science labs are not adequate under state requirements, that the classroom size, square footage of many of the classrooms falls significantly below